Welcome to Follow Friday. I'm Paula Williams with ABCI. ABCI's mission is to help aviation companies sell more of their products and services so that they have the revenue to innovate and to take better care of their people, their customers, their employees. So for today's Follow Friday, we all know that Mark Zuckerberg has been testifying before Congress this week about Facebook's use of personal data. And the Congress people have been asking all kinds of smart and many silly questions about the internet, personal privacy, and security. So we're all involved in aviation and marketing, both of which have a lot to do with technology, privacy, and security. A huge part of the reason that many of our customers use business aviation is because of privacy and security concerns. So if we're in the business, we're all risk managers by nature. So a lot of people have been asking us, are we cutting back on Facebook use, or are we cutting back on Facebook advertising? Or even, should we delete our Facebook account altogether? And my answer to both questions is the same, and that is not if it works and if it fits within your risk management strategy. Or here's why. There's nothing new here. Privacy and security have become a lot more complicated, and it's a lot more complicated than using or not using any particular tool. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. One is, this is 5 years ago, back in 2012, 6 years ago, there was a news story about an angry man who contacted Target about a mailer that was sent to his house addressed to his teenage daughter, advertising cribs and baby clothes. He said, "My daughter is still in high school and she's getting this in the mail from you. Are you trying to encourage teen pregnancy, or what is your deal?" So the supervising manager from Target called the man back a day or two later to add his apology, and the man disclosed that he had had a talk with his daughter, and she was in fact pregnant and had a due date of August. So how did Target know before this girl's family did? Quite simply, Target was using what they call predictive data. So they described a fictional case about how this could happen. Every shopper is assigned a guest ID, which is attached to a credit card, an email, or a shopper loyalty card. So a fictional shopper, let's say, bought cocoa butter lotion, a purse large enough to use as a diaper bag, zinc and magnesium supplements, and a bright blue rug, all within a particular month. Target calculated that there's an 87% chance that this girl was pregnant and was due in 4 to 5 months. So I've noticed that I get advertisements by email and other means from Amazon for the next book in a series that I'm reading about a week after I bought the last book. So they're anticipating about how long it takes me to read these books and what I'm going to want to read next. So in both of these examples, nobody's touched Facebook, right? We're all spilling data all the time, often without even thinking about it. Sometimes it's trivial, sometimes it's not. But we need to be a lot more conscious about how that's happening. So let's go back 100 years or so. Alexander Graham Bell invented, or at least patented, the telephone in 1849. So if he invented it today, you could argue that it would be just as disruptive as Facebook. People waste a lot of time on the phone. Teenagers spend their whole life on the phone rather than going out and actually meeting people face to face. The phone can be used as an invasion of people's time and privacy. The phone is used to commit crimes. Cell phones, which is an iteration of that data, are even used to detonate bombs. They're used to organize criminal activity. Can you imagine the Congress of 1850-something convening and arguing about how the telephone works and what all the moral implications are about how this should and shouldn't be used, and whether or not Alexander Graham Bell should be called on the carpet for all of these terrible things? The point is that privacy is a real concern, but Facebook is not any more or less culpable than any other tool, and the government is certainly not who should be saving us from any of these things. They're not equipped, nor are they really in a position to do what needs to be done. We have to take care of ourselves and each other, right? And our clients. So we all need to be concerned with the privacy and security of our own data and that of our clients, and that is just the nature of the business that we're in. We need to decide what our personal minimums are, and we need to stop and think before we share any particular information with any corporation, whether that's on the phone, whether that's by using a loyalty card or a shopping card for a purchase, whether that's using Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to kind of think about what's connected to this And how are they going to use my data? And am I okay with that? So just like when a pilot is in command of an aircraft, he has to take those risks into account. So I'm not going to move it to a cabin in the woods and make my own soap so that I'm not using stores and I'm not using social media. Not yet anyway, right? And I'm not pulling the plug on Facebook. But I also am not going to fly a Skyhawk with a 20-knot gusty crosswind. I am quite frankly a low time, infrequent pilot, fairly low tolerance for risk. So there are a lot of people that are perfectly fine with a 20-knot gusty crosswind. That's not me, right? That doesn't mean I'm not going to fly. It just means that I'm going to take an instructor, or I'm going to take John, or I'm going to wait for the weather to change. I'm going to go earlier. I'm going to go later. There's a lot of things that I can do, but I'm not going to give up flying because of that personal minimum. So it's the same thing with privacy and security. There's a lot of great advice on how to access and control your data on Facebook, but most people haven't even bothered to look at it. You should also look at the privacy settings on your browser, use more secure passwords, take backups and print paper copies of all of your important documents, shop at stores you feel good about, take reasonable precautions that never would have occurred to you 5 years ago. So you need to decide what your personal minimums are for any tool that you use, whether that's the phone or Facebook or your airplane. So it's all the same stuff, nothing new here, but just apply that same decision-making process and those same risk management strategies. Have a great day, and if you'd like to talk about this or anything else to take care of your own marketing and or privacy, how it marginally affects that or tangentially affects that needs, or your use of Facebook in particular, feel free to give us a call or schedule some time with me to go over what your concerns are, and we'll be happy to help. Thanks. Talk to you soon.